Hey, I have a question for you. Where do you waste your most energy and time in your life? Well, in today's episode, I will share with you where I wasted most of my energy and my time in my life. All about that right after the intro. Welcome to the Day One Journey, episode 102. Cha-ching. Yeah, episode 102. Are you excited? Not sure about you, but I'm pretty excited. Well, in today's episode, I will share with you what are the two places I wasted most of my energy and my precious time in my life. Maybe you can reflect on these and make some adjustment where you waste your precious energy in your life. Well, it's gotta do with what we talked about last episodes. Last episodes we talked about the third basic desire. Do you remember what it is? The desire to express loosely organized opinions. Yeah, that's the third desire, most responsible for our lack of self-discipline. Yeah, so we dwelled and talked about that pretty long, but then I shared with you my take on this. Meaning, when I read in this book, the third desire of express loosely organized opinions, I thought to myself, I was pretty honest. Usually I don't really express loosely organized opinions, but I went deeper inside myself and thought, how can I be better in this subject? So what did I do? I thought about express loosely organized opinions, which is talking without really thinking about it. I went a little bit higher, generalized idea of just talking too much. Yes, so I was here, express loosely organized opinions. I generalized it a little bit to just talking too much, where I know I could make some progress. And then I dove into two other things that I can really make a progress in when I talk too much. So I don't really express loosely organized opinions. However, there are two other places, two other desires regarding talking too much that I can save so much energy that I shared with you last episodes, which is the same places that I just waste too much energy, and probably the two places I wasted the most energy in my life. Wanna know what they are? I tell you something personal before that, just to give you some context about that, a little bit perspective or proportions about that. So in my personal life, I studied engineering. I studied engineering for 4 or 5 years, and I worked in that for probably 3 or 4 years, and then now I'm not an engineer. I'm not working on that. So many people, I think also my parents, told me, you wasted that time in university. It wasn't the time that I wasted, because I learned so many things. Back then I studied in the Technion. Technion is probably the most challenging university in Israel regarding engineering. Either way, even though I spent 5 years there, I don't see that as wasting my time, as I think most of my friends will say it. You wasted 5 years of your life and you're not an engineer? Well, I didn't think that I wasted them. And maybe that for another episode, but just a glimpse why I didn't waste, because I learned how to learn. It was so challenging. It was pushing me to be more creative, more even social a little bit, because we needed the help of each other to get a little bit better, studying for the test, etc. But I won't dive into that, and let's go back to the two basic things regarding the third basic desire, most responsible for our lack of self-discipline. Express loosely organized opinions, but within that, a little bit more generalized, but more specific to me. The two places I wasted most of my energy in my life. Last episode, I shared one of them, which was explaining my dreams too much instead of sharing them. Many people would have did ask me about my dreams many times. After I shared these dreams, and I found myself so many times trying to explain them why they are going to work, and it was tempting. It was tempting to explain them everything, but it was just a waste of energy. Afterwards, when I thought about it, every time it was just a waste of energy. So we talked about that in last episode, explaining your dreams versus sharing them. So share them, give them life, give them energy, but then be quiet and let your success be your noise. Don't try to explain them to anyone. They are not there to be understood, especially not with other people. That was the first thing. An episode before that, you can check the link as well. An episode before that, I share with you the first place I wasted most of my energy in my life, which was also regarding explaining. But the title for that is Answering Questions Too Quickly. That's a pretty tricky one, but we talked about that, meaning people may ask you many questions, maybe as an expert. So imagine yourself knowing some certain things about a specific subject that you're expert in, and people come and ask you questions. How do you do these kinds of things? How long have you been doing them, etc., etc.? It's very tempting to tell them your story. But if you really want to help them, maybe it's much more effective. Effective, yes, the effect is to help them and waste the least amount of energy. That's the effect that we are after. So, I would answer questions too quickly without understanding what the person asking me is really after. So they would ask me, as I shared with you 2 episodes ago, for example, in fitness, what is my nutrition plan? What's my fitness plan? What do I do? How do I train? And then I would give them all the plan, and then they would ask me what's the best plan for them. So I would give them some generic, very good plan, but it was so much waste of energy. And it might be harsh, it might be too much, but I tell you the truth, I wasted energy. I wasted my energy as help to people who didn't even want to help themselves. So, it's a tricky part. It's a tricky part. I'm not saying it's a waste of energy to help people. I want to help people, but I want it to be effective. I know that my energy is finite. So if I help people that don't want to help themselves, it is less help for me to other people who want to help themselves. So how can you optimize that? How can you make sure, to the best of your abilities, not to waste your precious energy helping people that are not really committed to help themselves? So 2 episodes ago we talked about that, and we said, let them be accountable. How can you make them accountable? Don't give them the full plan. It's just overwhelming for them and too much energy that you're wasting. Just give them the next step. So the first step, just before that, understand where they want to go, where they are, where they want to go. Then, even though you know all the plan, don't give them all the plan. Just give them the next step, give them a time frame, a week, 2 weeks, whatever, then get them go back to you. Yes, so they become accountable. That's the way that I was practicing maybe in the last year or so to save my precious energy. Yeah, that's the thing. So these are the two things. Let me summarize these two for you just before we wrap up this episode. The two places I spend most of my time and energy, not spend, wasted, is explaining my dreams too much instead of just sharing them. Keep quiet, get the extra energy, and get to work. Explain too much my dreams and my ideas rather than executing them, or just sharing them once or twice. And the second thing is answering questions too quickly. The solution: ask them questions, understand where they want to go, and just give them the next step. Just give them the next step. Make them accountable. Make them come back to you. So if they come back to you, they own it. They earn your time. They earn your energy. They earn your help. Let them earn your help. Set the stage for them to earn your precious energy. And don't just put your precious energy just out there. And of course, that's the bonus thing that I wasted my energy. Bonus tip not to waste your energy. Make sure people are listening before you're talking. Yeah. So these are the two things I spend wasted most of my time and energy in my life: explaining too much myself, my dreams, and answering questions too quickly, giving people too much information at one time instead of just giving them the next step. Obviously, when they come to me for help or advice. This is my message for you for the day. Remember, everything, we're still in the No Routine series, and what it is all about is about cutting out the not so much important stuff. Cutting off the not so much important stuff to make room, to make space for the stuff that we really want. This is what the No Routine is about. And of course, raising our level of awareness, knowing where we waste the most energy. It's pretty basic in the No Routine. Notice these are things that are tempting. They might be fun. We want to explain ourselves, right? We want to help people, give them the full plan. If we know the full plan, we want to give them everything. They are our friends, they are our colleagues. We want to help. It's tempting to give everything and get rid of it. Okay, like telling ourselves, okay, I said everything to him, now it is in his hands. It's not that effective. Give them the next step. Make them accountable. Don't waste too much energy. Let them come back to you. You'll give them more homework. Yeah, this is how I think, in my opinion, probably one of the best ways to influence people. Of course, when they do come to you for help. Either way, we're really out of time today. So back to you. Back to you. I want you to be honest with yourself and ask yourself, what are the things that you spend the time, and when you rethink about that, it might be wasting your precious energy. Where do you waste your energy? Most of your energy and time in your life. Be honest and reconsider next time when you start this activity. Consider cutting it. Yes, cutting it and get this extra energy for doing other stuff. This is my message for you for the day. You can think about what I shared with you regarding me wasting my energy. Maybe that's related to where you are wasting your energy, or maybe something else. You can check out the previous episodes of the No Routine maybe something there. But where do you waste most of your energy and time that you can cut off and do other stuff? This is my question for you for the day. Do this today. Answer the question, cut this one today. A small cut, just a small snippet of energy that you can put in other stuff, more important stuff. So do this today, and of course, have an amazing day one.